Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from Clash Miami. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by SFuels, HOKA, Master Spas, deboer, wetsuits, Premium Plus Sports, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest from that triathlon life, Paula Findlay. How you doing, Paula?
I'm good. Thanks, Bob. How are you?
I am wonderful. It's always such a treat to see you and get
Great
to chat with
too.
you.
Yeah.
And you love these racetracks.
Yeah, maybe. I like
Maybe?
Daytona. I like Daytona.
Okay. I was going to say, because some of your best races have been at Daytona.
Yeah, Daytona's different. It's deceiving because it's a racetrack, but it's got a lot of corners, this one. Daytona's just an oval, so.
Well, it's funny.
Very
We were
different.
just talking to Morgan Pearson, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to jump in one of these longer races. I'll do this Daytona thing, and I'll get a TT bike, and I'll spend a few days on it. It won't be a problem. He goes, halfway through, his hamstrings, he had to get like off the bike and try.
Yeah.
And then he said he couldn't run. I mean, it was like he was a total mess. I don't know how you guys do it.
Well, we just train on the TT bike a lot.
All the time.
There's a lot of stuff Morgan does that we couldn't do, so it's an unfair comparison.
But back in the day, if somebody said to you, you're going to make your living at the half distance, at 70.3, the PTO, that distance.
T100, yeah.
T100, that's so different from what you grew up doing.
Yeah.
And so much longer.
Yeah.
You would have been like,
Yeah.
that's a long way to go.
Yeah, I guess back when I was younger watching Ironman, I went to Kona in 2010, I think, with Specialized to watch the race. And never even then did I think like, oh, I really want to do this or I have to be here. I really enjoyed the short course racing. And to be honest, like middle distance racing now is a little bit like short course racing.
It really is.
It's gotten so fast. The training is not that much different. And like the fueling becomes a little more important and the TT bike is different, but otherwise it's really quite similar. So I don't feel like I've had to make this huge jump up in distance. If I stepped up to Ironman, that's a whole other ballgame. But I think for now, especially this T100 distance,
So cool.
It's kind of like a sweet spot for me that I really enjoy. So yeah, I'm liking it.
What's really fun is watching this evolution of seeing you at Daytona and winning it when it was, you know, really one of your first longer events.
Yeah, I sort of started at half distance in like 2017, 2018, and then all of COVID in 2020, we didn't race at all, and that was the only race of the year in December, and I did really well there. But
you did really well there. You won.
Well, I won there. I guess I won there. Yeah.
I guess I won there. And then the funny part is you won the year before, and the field was the field. There wasn't like a deep field. Was that the year with Lucy?
Yeah, I think Lucy was there.
Under
So it
the
was a good
lights.
field.
It was a good field.
Not
but
the
next
same
year when
as
you put $1
Daytona.
million in, it becomes a different field.
Exactly, yeah.
But everybody was like, okay, Paula won last year, which is great. But she's not going to win this year because everybody's here now. And then you won again.
Yeah, I mean, it's every race I go into, even when I was doing ITU, I always believe I could maybe win, but my expectation is not that I'm going to win. So it's always a bit of a surprise. And I train to win and I train to be on the podium, but anything can happen. And especially in these fields, they're uber competitive. Everyone's training hard. Since I raced ITU, I think like the nutrition is better. Everyone's more dialed with like other aerodynamics, and the sport has just evolved so much. And so, yeah, you can't take any win for granted. I really appreciate any time, no matter the field. Whenever I can win is awesome.
Yeah, and when you, like you're talking about the evolution of the sport, the evolution of Paula Findlay from, I never saw you as an outspoken or I'm going to be a TV personality, I'm going to create a show, but you have. You've become a spokesperson, you've become a role model, you've become like with your developmental team, you're giving back. You seem to be in a really, really good place in life right now. Yeah,
me and Eric have created some cool stuff with TTL, that Triathlon Life, the YouTube, the development team. We have a great, roster of partners and sponsors that we work super well with and super closely with. So for us now, the racing is awesome and it's our priority, but we also have so many other things that we love doing. And in a way that takes a bit of the pressure off of the racing because these things are stressful. Like you come into them and it's media and cameras and it's really hard. And so it's nice to have like another thing that we feel like is really important and is making a difference in some ways. And can hopefully be something we can keep going on after we're done racing as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you've created something that there's no reason why the racing part has to be integral to it, because you guys are bringing new people in. You're
Yeah, we
spreading the love of the
intentionally,
events.
we didn't call it the Eric and Paula show. We
Right.
called it something that was a little bit more inclusive and could be known after, like me, Eric and I will always be involved, but we don't have to be the figureheads of it. And
Right.
that was kind of the purpose of creating this development team, where we have 6 young athletes that are trying to make the jump to pro, and we fund them and mentor them and kind of assist them through that transition. And
Right.
it's super fulfilling to watch them try to do that jump. And Eric and I both realize how hard it is in the sport, even especially nowadays, to get sponsors and get connections and train hard enough and well enough to be able to make that step. So we're hoping we can make a small difference in this little group of people.
Yeah, and when you're talking about 20 people being invited, 20 women being invited, 20 men being invited to these races,
Yeah.
it's difficult to get to the point where you're getting invited. So
Yeah, for the T100 for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome though that there's still a lot of 70.3 races and challenge races
Yep.
and clash races, and there's still a lot of opportunity for racing for people that are kind of up and coming, and then maybe the T100 can be like someone that's the ultimate goal, right? At the end of the day.
like Kona used to be the ultimate goal.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
you want to get there and,
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
that. What's been the biggest learning for you in terms of producing a show and knowing, okay, every Sunday we have an episode and we got to drop it? That's a lot of pressure.
Well, to be honest, the TTL show is a lot Eric. He does the editing, he does the filming. I prefer to kind of like put my head down and train, but I also realize how important it is to what we do, and I enjoy it, and I would help more if I did have the skills to help, but he's really the video guy.
He is a video guy, yes.
But we've become a little bit more lax with the weekly schedule
Yeah.
of TTL, just because it's so much work for Eric to edit, and we have a podcast now that we put out every week, so we kind of have spread our wings a little bit in terms of like what we do, and it's taken a little bit of pressure off Eric to have to drop something every week, because it's
Right.
so much work. And during COVID it was great because it gave us a sense of like something to do every week, but now that we're racing again and there's so much going on in our lives, he tries to do like 2 weeks on, 1 week off, 2 weeks on, 1
Right.
week off, and it's a little less pressure, so it's good.
How have you changed as an athlete over this last number of years since making that transition to 70.3 slash T100?
How have I changed? I don't know. I had a lot of success when I was young, and I went
Yes.
through a lot of times of injury and probably should have left the sport when I was going through all those troubles and gone back to school and like had a more conventional job. But for some reason I stayed in it, and I think meeting Eric and doing this with Eric definitely has kept me in the sport and kept me loving it. And
Because it's easy when things are going downhill, you
Yeah.
look at that. What is the one thing that is sort of the catalyst for all the crap that's happening in my life?
Yeah,
And it's
I
a
mean,
silly swim, bike, run thing.
Exactly,
If I
yeah.
eliminate that, I'll eliminate all this negative crap in my life.
Yeah, but the last couple of years I've had some good races, and that's
Yes.
kind of reassured me that, okay, I'm still good at this and I still have it in me to be good. So that's kind of kept me in it. And do I love it every day? Not necessarily. I don't know if I like love racing as much as everyone else loves racing, it seems, but I'm still
but you've
here
been
and doing it.
How old
and-
were you first started? Like 10 or something?
Yeah, I think I was like 16 when I did my first triathlon, but
Okay.
10 when I started swimming, and
Yes.
like a lifetime of sport. It feels
Exactly.
like.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah,
it can get old. It can get monotonous. It can be.
Yeah, it's not even the monotony. It's more like the stress and the pressure really gets to me more than it should, maybe. But we all deal with that, so
Yeah.
it's something I'm working through, and hopefully, with this many races on the schedule this year, it gets easier as I race more. So the first race is always stressful and pressure and all that.
Well, I also think that when you go to a race and it's a $1 million prize person, $100,000, and I know you're like not one of those people who's going, okay, money,
Yeah.
but still it's like this is the race. Where this
Right.
is 8. There's 8.
Yeah.
It's one race is not going to kill you, right? If you
Yeah.
and the worst that happens is you finish top 20 of the best 20 people in the world.
That's true.
Right?
Good perspective. Yeah,
I
that's
finished
true.
I remember a couple of years ago, I was looking at Holly Lawrence's, and she was like, from the PTO races, she was 6th in one and 7th in another, and back in the day, you'd go, oh my God, she had a crappy race. You're like, no, that was
That's
a
actually
U.S.
a great
Open.
race,
That
yeah.
was U.S. Open, that was European Open, that was Canadian Open.
Yeah.
That's the best people in the world. You finish 6th, 7th, you're coming away with 25, 30K, which is more than winning
Yeah.
a lot of other races.
Yeah, the PTO and the T100 has really changed that in a lot of
Totally,
ways, like
yeah.
allowed people to make a living at this, and me included. So I don't take that for granted at all.
No.
And yeah, certainly even coming top 10 here is really a good day. So I don't know.
No question about
It's
that.
just hard to get that out. Like, I want to win every race I do, and now we're racing the best people every single time. So
Yes.
it's a different mindset.
Well, in this last year, you had 3 wins, 2/3, and 2/5.
Yeah, last year was a good year.
Yeah,
that was a good year.
That's so consistent.
Yeah.
And again, when you get 3rd at U.S. Open, did I put that down twice? I might have. But you get 3rd at the U.S. Open, and the Oceanside always has a great one. European Open, you were 5th there. Every race you were in was
pretty good. Yeah.
was a pretty good field.
Yeah, I think consistency was my strength last year, which is funny for me because historically consistency has been my struggle.
It's
I've
like
been injured and up and down and all that, but 2023 was kind of just smooth the whole way through. So
Yes.
hoping to kind of replicate that, and I've been healthy and running for the whole off season.
That's
so
the
I
best.
think for me that's kind of the key is
Just
to
being healthy.
have a good mind space, which I'm working on, and
Yes.
be healthy. So those are the two
Well,
things.
and that's really what it comes down to is being
Yeah.
being a whole season. And you've been this last couple of years. You've been pretty healthy, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
No big injuries since probably 20.
I think back in Collins Cup, seeing you in the
Oh, yeah, in the
wheelchair at the
wheelchair, yeah.
airport.
2019 or
I
something.
don't think Paula's doing well right
Maybe
now.
that was 21. Yeah, I can't remember, but
Yeah.
when I'm injured, I'm like really injured. That was pretty.
You don't
bad.
have like a minor tweak. You're
Yeah,
like, I think
yeah.
I broke all the bones
Yeah,
in my
I fully
foot.
can't walk.
Yeah, I can't walk at all. I think I need a wheelchair.
Yeah, but that hasn't happened in a while. So I
Yes.
think I've finally with my coach built a program that works for me, and it's good.
That is so cool. And
Yeah.
so this year will be primarily the T100.
Yeah, I think I
And
would
then
love
back
to
to
do.
70.3 Worlds.
Yeah, I
or,
might do Taupo in December. I probably will do St. George in May. We really like that race.
Oh,
and
such a good race.
we have this beautiful van now, so we like to be able to drive to races that we can drive to.
It's
And-
like a live-in van. You can travel.
yeah,
you can
it's a
travel
Sprinter van, Mercedes Sprinter, and it's got we don't actually often sleep in it the night before the race, but
Right.
for getting to races and taking all our stuff and taking our dog, it's really fun. So races like Oceanside and St. George that we can drive to within a day or two are on our list.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll probably be St. George, and then T100 will be my priority.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Paula, always such a treat.
Yeah, thank you.
And Big E's doing well?
Yeah, Eric's great. He's going to do a lot of Xterra racing this year, which is his love.
We saw him
he'd
at
love to
Stone
be-
Mountain last year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he'd rather ride a mountain bike over a TT bike any day. So
Absolutely.
he's good at it too. He'll do that, and we'll do a couple races together, like St. George, and he'll still do some halves, but Xterra is really, I think, his favorite.
That's right in his wheelhouse. You're
Yeah.
off-road, you're really nice people. And
Yeah, I mean, if I could ride a mountain bike, I'd do that too.
I
but-
would too. I'm so pathetic on a mountain bike.
Me too.
I see those guys going up the Flume Trail. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's hard.
That
It's really a skill, but
so brutal.
maybe someday I'll dive into it. I don't know.
Have a great race on Saturday. And are you excited and you raced under the lights when you were racing against Lucy?
Yeah, I'm excited that our race is in the evening because it won't be as hot, maybe.
right.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah, it's fun to start late in the day. It takes
Yeah.
the pressure off of waking up early and being jolted out of bed at 4 a.m. So
What I love about this weekend is tomorrow is the Olympic guys and gals will be racing. The para athletes are at 10.
Yeah.
And then us age group guys are Saturday morning. And then
Oh, you're racing.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Come on.
nice.
Yeah.
We'll be there for cheering
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you.
Anytime I can go in my 70 to death category and hang out with all my buddies, I'm a happy person.
That's awesome. Well, good luck, Bob.
Thank you so much, Paula. Always a treat.
Thank you.
Paula Findlay has been our guest again. Breakfast with Bob, Clash Miami. Hold on, we will be right